from the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe. Agriculture is evolving to meet the demands of tomorrow. At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greener. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. Join us 11:15 a.m. Mondays and Fridays on Global TV, channel 365 DSTV, StarTime channel 276, or YouTube livestream GSA Initiative. Agriculture for today and tomorrow, as we share groundbreaking ideas, empowering farmers, and celebrate greenhouse solutions. Together, let's grow the future.
Hello and welcome everyone to today's episode of Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow. Here, we promote smart solutions for a greener harvest. My name is Esther Itefia, your host. And remember, this is a media for the Agricultural Development Project of the GSA Initiative. That is, the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, an NGO that is committed to supporting African farmers develop sustainable, innovative, and profitable agricultural practices. Today, we are going to be discussing a very important topic that affects every Nigerian, whether you're a farmer, a trader, a student, or simply someone who just goes to the market and wonders why are the cost of crop farm produce so expensive? Why is the price of maize twice the price it was the last time it was purchased? But before we even delve into today's topic, let's wish ourselves a happy Democracy Day. It is a day to reflect on the collective will of the people, emphasizing freedom and the movement towards a good governance. And we can see that in the way the government has been handling the agricultural sector and improving food security. So today centers on how we can even further translate food production into a sustainable food security for Nigeria. So the big question today we are going to ask ourselves is, how can we translate food production to food security? Nigeria has millions of hardworking farmers. You can agree with me that they relentlessly work towards producing several millions of tons of grains every year. Yet, farmers still struggle to access food, affordable and nutritious food. So the big question is, how do we move from simply producing to actually achieving food security? Well, today's discussion is going to explore the challenges, opportunities, and the practical solutions required to transform Nigeria's food system from one focused primarily on production to one capable of delivering long-term food security. So let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to look deeply into this topic and see how it affects everyone, because this is an important discussion that affects everyone in the agricultural value chain. Stay with us.
In the heart of our field lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative, and powered by smart solutions from the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe. Agriculture is evolving to meet the demands of tomorrow. At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greener. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. Join us 11:15 a.m. Mondays and Fridays on Global TV, channel 365 DSTV, StarTime channel 276, or YouTube livestream GSA Initiative. Agriculture for today and tomorrow, as we share groundbreaking ideas, empowering farmers, and celebrate greenhouse solutions. Together, let's grow the future.
Welcome back from the break. So today, to help us unpack this important discussion, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Daniel Black. He is the CEO of GSA initiative. That is the Growth for Sustainable Agriculture initiative, the brainchild behind the whole show and the building capacity for farmers all over Nigeria. Welcome. It's nice to have you on the show, Mr. Daniel Black.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Esther. And I must say a happy Democracy Day to you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure discussing agriculture and talking about how we can further improve what is happening in our country.
Yes, that is true. In fact, today strengthens the collective will of the people because it's the Democracy Day, and even the farmers are also happy to celebrate the democracy because it shows the freedom of the people, and also even down to the agricultural sector, we are all seeing the effects of Nigeria's democracy in agriculture. So so today I'm sure the audience are as eager as I am to hear from you and also benefit from your experience on this topic. It's a topic that actually affects everyone. So today, to kickstart, a lot of people interchange the word food production and food security. How can you help us distinguish the difference between these concepts, and also to tell us how it is important to understand this in regards to Nigerian agricultural development?
Yes, it's the topic you're discussing today is very unique, being that today is Democracy Day and it is a day that we are actually celebrating our freedom to choose, our freedom, this style of government where we say government for the people, by the people, and of the people, right? And that definition that I just told you about democracy actually spills down into food security. In a very comical way, I'd want to say that food security is having food for the people, by the people, and of the people. Being able to provide food that the people want, right? Not providing food that is not what the people want. So providing food for the people, providing food by the people, empowering the farmers in Nigeria to be able to provide this food. So food democracy, I would say, and food security, it's not about importing food. It's about making sure that the farmers within this geographical region are able to produce the food that we're talking about. And of course, we've talked about food of the people, food for the people, and food by the people. So food security now talks about where we are able to reach a level where we're able to provide food for the people, produced by the people, and for the people, right? So but production is where we are just trying our best to just get to a point where we are able to produce food, get food on the table, and all of that. But when we go to food security, we're now talking about where we've been able to get to a point where we're able to provide safe and nutritious food in available quantity for the masses that need it.
Wow, that you've really enlightened us on that, and it's eye-opening because now we can see that agriculture is not just about producing food, but making sure that it's available for the common
available and nutritious, not just available, making sure that it is a nutritious quantity of food that is available for the masses.
Wow, that's good to know. That's insightful. But Nigeria has vast agricultural resources. We have, you see, the large expanse of land, the rich soil we have, but unfortunately, millions of farmers who are earnestly producing food still struggle. Even just the general average family of Nigeria struggle to access this nutritious food that we produce. So what do you think can be done about it? What are the gaps that we need to look into to ensure that it is available, it is affordable?
Yes, thank you. It's available, affordable, and nutritious is what we are looking at. So you see, the world has gone beyond just food production. The world has beyond just basic agriculture. The world globally now talks in food systems, and food systems is an interconnection of different parts working together to achieve a unified goal, right? So one of the challenges we've had in Nigeria is isolated interventions and isolated practices of farmers. Farmers are working in isolation. Everybody's just struggling on their own part. We need to come in as a harmonious working system. There is a whole value chain, right? And from people producing agricultural chemicals and nutrients in terms of fertilizers, in terms of pesticides, fungicides, and all of the things needed to produce food, to the farmers. The farmers, we are talking about being able to develop their capacities to produce food sustainably, use climate smart techniques, use innovative techniques that help in productivity, reduce in waste of resources, like enhanced water management processes, like enhanced pest management, integrated pest management practices, soil regeneration and soil nutrition practices. So that value chain has a whole lot to do. If we go back to those producing the chemicals, we are talking about chemicals that are useful and also not harmful to the biosphere, to the environment. So this whole value chain. Now, when we leave the farmers, we talk about the transporters, the marketers, the middlemen.
Yes.
Do we have the infrastructure to ensure that what is being produced is sent out? Nigeria, we are actually complaining of scarcity, but you will find out that in some regions of Nigeria, we have yams being wasted. In Benue and the Middle Belt, even in Niger State, they produce yams, but the excess yam that is to be transported to other regions of the country, most times they are not able to, along the way, either these yams cut and are not being able to be sold in whole, either these yams rotten due to heat of the transportation system, or it could just be that robbers stole the yam, or the road banditry and all of that insecurity. So the transportation system is another value chain that also needs to be worked on. We have in Jos Plateau State, I think last year there was a situation where strawberry wasted all over in Jos Plateau State because they did not have a cold storage that could transport it from the farms that are in rural areas down to the town where they could be able to sell it to retail stores and the likes. If you go to Lagos, if you go to the west, tomatoes on a steady, tomatoes and pepper, in fact, they had to, in their local innovative way, have to bring out what they call I've forgotten that name now, for rotten tomatoes and pepper, where they blend it together and people come to buy it and use it in cooking, just as a way of probably just reducing their losses. So you see, it is a value chain, and this value chain needs to be needs to work in synergy. So while we are looking at agricultural inputs, while we are looking to enhance agricultural inputs, we have to enhance agricultural practices by the farmers, we have to enhance transportation, we have to enhance storage, we have to even enhance access. What do you need to go to a farm down in Ogun State to be able to access a particular type of produce? Or is there a way these things can come to the farmers, to the end consumer, without the farmers losing so much? So this whole value chain, like I said comically, I will call it food democracy. Food security is equal to food democracy. We need to be able to democratize the process. We need to be able to encourage and incentivize more actors to come into the process and infuse innovation, infuse productivity, infuse profitability, infuse security, because insurance is a major issue. People transporting their goods and having security threats, having bad road networks, spoiling the vehicles and having the goods stay on the road for so long adds to all the threats that come into agribusiness. So I would say, for us to achieve food security, for us to have accessibility, we need to democratize the food systems.
This has been very explanatory. In fact, I'm sure anyone listening has deeply understood the point, because we can now see that it encompasses a whole lot, from the input to processing to transportation. The whole value chain has to work in order for the food security to be achieved.
Exactly.
That is very good. But then, what do you think are the gaps that the government, the private sectors, development partners, stakeholders in agriculture should prioritize to improve the progress of the food security, say, the next 5 years?
Okay, so there's a whole lot of gaps, but I'll just mention two. One would be data. We need to prioritize getting data in Nigeria. We need to know how many farmers are there. We need to know who is planting what. We need to know what size of these crops are we planting. We have data going out that Nigeria produces, one of the largest producers of yam. To what quantity exactly? If Nigeria is the largest producer of yam, where is the yam going to? Do we need to produce more? Do we need to reduce our producing? Is there a wastage in the yam? So first, I would say one of the things we should prioritize is accurate, verifiable, and up-to-date data. That is one thing. Across the value chain, we need data. When anybody wants to bring in an input to Nigeria, what data does he use to determine his market share? How many farmers are going to buy this chemical that you're bringing in for him to know if it's going to be profitable or it is not? Who are the big farmers? Who are the small farmers? We need data. That's one. So the second gap I think they should also work in is synchronizing interventions. Let us know what Ford Foundation is doing. Let us know what GSI is doing. Let us know what every intervention agency, what is Ministry of Agriculture doing, what is Ministry of Livestock doing, we need to be able to synchronize interventions in Nigeria so that we do not have duplicity, we do not have wastage, and we do not have abuse of the process. So I think if we have accurate, verifiable, up-to-date data, and we have a synchronized intervention system in agriculture in Nigeria, we would have jumped so many loopholes and we would be recording massive success.
Okay, one more question for you, Mr.
Of course.
So, food is expensive, even if all these are put in place. If it's expensive, the average farmer and the average family cannot afford it. What is the one thing that you think Nigeria can do to make sure that food is affordable?
Yes, so I would have just said subsidy, but subsidy, that word to subsidize food goes a long way. And I don't even mean going to say Gary should be 1,000, government will pay 500 and people should pay 500. No, subsidize it from the primary, the root cause. In terms of transportation, we should have specialized transportation for agricultural produces, those vital produces that we need. We should have subsidized production. Most of the chemicals that come in get expensive because of import duties. We should have import-free duties for our chemical inputs, most of our chemical inputs. We should also have subsidies in terms of security. If somebody is having a large expanse of land, he should be able to have some degree of security at a very affordable, if not free rate. So agricultural sector should be heavily subsidized at the production level. It will definitely reflect at the consumption level.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Black. It was really nice talking to you on the show, and we've been able to see how Nigeria can translate from just food production to food security.
And food democracy.
Yes, and food democracy. Thank you very much. So that is it for today on Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow. Thank you for joining in. I remain your host, Esther Itefia, and see you next time.
In the heart of our field lies the future of agriculture, sustainable, innovative, and powered by smart solutions from the rich soil of Africa to high-tech farms around the globe. Agriculture is evolving to meet the demands of tomorrow. At the intersection of tradition and technology, we discover smarter ways to grow more, waste less, and harvest greener. Together, we are cultivating a future where every harvest sustains the earth and its people. Join us 11:15 a.m. Mondays and Fridays on Global TV, Channel 365 DSTV, StarTime Channel 276, or YouTube Livestream GSA Initiative. Agriculture for Today and Tomorrow, as we share groundbreaking ideas, empowering farmers, and celebrate greenhouse solutions. Together, let's grow the future.